Hi everyone, Michelle here with Just for Sweets, and today I wanted to take you on a quarantine with me day. This includes cooking, cleaning, baking, and just some of the things that I do throughout my day now that we're on quarantine time. I hope you subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell if you want to be notified every time I download a video, and hit that like button. Let's get going on this video. So on this particular day, I started by making breakfast for my daughter and myself, and I made some bacon along with some really yummy sandwiches on some sourdough bagels. So I'm going to take you along with me. As we've seen on TV, very, very important to wash our hands at all times. So I wash in between after putting the bacon in the pan, and I go ahead and fry our bacon up. Once the bacon is cooked, you want to remove it and put it onto some paper towels. And then I reserve this bacon grease for later on. And now it is time to wash those hands again. So I'm going to take you through my method that I do a million times a day. And I'm doing it with warm water. I have two kinds of soap here. So I just pick a soap. And you want to make sure and wash your hands, I believe they said for 20 seconds. So I count to 20 slowly while I wash my hands, and then I rinse well and then dry. One thing that my daughter absolutely loves is breakfast potatoes, and because I'm on quarantine, I actually have time to make her breakfast. And so I decided, instead of her eating cereal today, that I'd go ahead and make her breakfast potatoes and a sandwich. So I start by dicing whatever kind of potatoes I have in the house. I do them slightly thin and put them in the bacon grease, which is a nice natural oil, and then you don't have to waste any of your olive oil or anything like that. That's why I reserve that bacon grease. So I go ahead and fry them up. Now, one thing is I want to season these up really well, and we have two favorite seasonings in our house that we use on our breakfast potatoes. One is the Wildtree Blazin Buffalo Blend, our absolute favorite, and I always keep this on hand for buffalo wings and for our potatoes. So I just sprinkle that on all of the potatoes, and then the next one I use is Nitro Rub, and this is actually made locally from one of our friends, and the information is right there. I'll also link that in the description box below. This is a great blend of seasoning, so I kind of go ahead and just like lightly shake that over the top. I think I had a little bit more than lightly, but just about the right amount of seasoning for us. We like our things nice and seasoned, so you want to go ahead and let those cook on a high heat, I guess, until they're kind of brown, and then you just want to keep an eye on them. Don't stir them too much, but you also want to make sure you stir them so that they don't burn, although we do like ours a little bit on the crispier side. Now, while our breakfast is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and start making these little brownie balls that I decided to make. I have been baking out of my house since I'm quarantined and giving some goodies and selling goodies to some of my friends and neighbors and things like that. So I decided I was going to make these brownie bites and give them a try. So all I did was take a regular brownie mix from the store and followed the directions on the back of the packet. As you can see, I'm just doing exactly what they say. And then I put them on the temperature, and then the size pan that I'm using determines the amount of time. I also wanted to make them fudgy-like because we're going to press these together like cake pops. And so I don't want them to be cake-like. I want them to be just a little bit more fudgy because I'm not adding frosting to this once they're done. So go ahead and follow the directions. But this is what I did, and I try to use my time wisely and multitask. So while my breakfast is cooking, I'm getting the brownies ready to go and the oven preheated. Now these bagels I got were fairly big, so I just sliced it in half, and my daughter and I will share a whole bagel. So I went ahead and cut it in half, and I'm toasting it. And then usually what I do is I move my potatoes to the side and use the same pan. I try not to dirty too many pans, and I'm gonna go ahead and fry my egg in there. So you saw that I put a little bit of spray grease. You can use butter or whatever you like instead, but I just kind of put that to the side and get the egg going. This is like one of our all-time favorite breakfast foods. I go ahead and put that bacon on top of the egg while it's cooking, and then I sprinkle some mozzarella cheese just because that's what I had on hand. And so I put that on there and pull the bagel out of the toaster, and then voila, you've got yourself a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel. This is how we prefer to eat them, and we just love them, but we don't eat them that often. We try to eat a little bit healthier. I'm usually a protein shake girl in the morning, but because of this quarantine, we've been eating a lot heartier, I guess I should say. So here it is, all finished and ready to go with orange juice on the side. There is our bacon, egg, and cheese bagel sandwich, my home hash brown potatoes or home fries, whatever you want to call them. And this is what my daughter woke up to, and she eats that with ketchup and hot sauce, and she's like good to go. Actually, this held us over until past lunch as well, all the way to dinner. So that was good because it was a nice big hearty breakfast and it filled us right up. And of course, there's a little coffee involved while I'm doing all this because I cannot go without my coffee.
What's wrong, oh? What's wrong? Hi. Oh my goodness, you already ate. Come on, girl. Let's go.
In between, I've been liking to get my dishes done so that they don't pile up by the end of the night. So I've got quite a stack going with everything I've made this morning. As you saw, that is my Melaleuca dish liquid that I'm using. I really just got introduced to Melaleuca products, and so I've been playing around with them, and I really, really love this dish liquid along with their lotion, which I don't have in the video. But that's what I'm doing, and I'm using really, really hot water, cleaning out these dishes that I just used so that when I do round 2 today, I don't have a ton to do. If you'd like any information or would like to shop for Melaleuca, I will put that in the description box below as well. So you can just hit that link and shop. So I just wanted to go ahead and share that with you.
What do, Cub? What are you doing? Catching some sun? Hi, Oakley. Oh my goodness.
So now what I do is I take those brownies while they're still warm and I put them in a mixing bowl of some sort. You can do whatever you want. And then I'm just going to use, typically I would use my hands, but because of everything we're going through right now, I've been trying to use like wooden spoons and utensils. I go ahead and get some parchment paper that I actually got at the Dollar Tree, one of my favorite places to shop. And I put that down because I'm going to start creating the brownie balls. But first what you want to do is you want to take this warm brownie mix and you want to mush it all together. Now here is a little tip. If your brownie mix is too dry, which I had some dry spots in there, you can add a spoonful of vanilla or chocolate frosting and mix it in to make it a little bit more gooier. But if that's even a term. But what I did is I just took a cookie scoop and I scooped the balls onto the parchment paper, and then I go ahead and I just form them into round balls, and I just keep going until the brownie mix is done. But that was something fun that I did during the day. And, you know, I've just tried to keep myself busy during this time because I'm not used to not working. So this has been really like some good therapy for me. So once I finish rolling them, I get a paper plate with some parchment paper and I go ahead and I put all of the brownie balls onto this plate because it is going to go in my freezer. The best way to dip these is frozen or cold. So I like to get them pretty cold. They weren't quite frozen when I dipped them, but they were very, very cold and close to being frozen. So I just go ahead and stick those in my freezer and just forget about those while I do some other things. So after having that very busy morning, as you saw, I went ahead and got into a really, really hot bath to relax and just spoil myself a little bit before I step into round 2 of my day with all the cakes that I need to frost and the cakes I need to bake and the dinner I need to make. So I just went ahead and sat in here and relaxed for a bit. I think we all need that every now and then. So back in the kitchen I go. Now I need to make my cream cheese frosting, and so I go ahead and start that, get it going in the mixer because I have got some cakes to frost that people have ordered from me. I have been calling these my quarantine cakes, and so I've had a really good time making these. I've probably made about 15 to 20 of them so far. So that frosting is going. Here's the cakes that I need to frost and deliver today. So, and yes, we are staying 6 feet apart when delivery happens, but I'm getting those ready to go. So I've got the piping bag ready. I've got my frosting in there ready to start frosting my cake. I do have a video on how I do my dupe nothing bundt cakes, aka my quarantine cakes now. So I will link that in the description box below as well so that you can see the step-by-step that I do on those. But here I am just frosting my first cake. Like I said, I have 4 to do and 4 to deliver, so I have to get busy doing them. And this does take some time. It's not as fast as what you see in this video. So this particular cake order, they wanted some fresh strawberries in it. So I washed my strawberries first, which I did not show you in the video, and now I'm cutting and dicing them up because what I do with my bundt cakes is I put the fruit in the center of the cake and then sprinkle a little on top, as you will see. So I'm going through and I'm cutting the strawberries in half because they're fairly large and then dicing them up so that they're smaller pieces, and then I'm going to place those in the center of my cake. So the center is filled, and now what I do is I take some of the strawberries and I kind of sprinkle them over the top. I don't want them to go all over my cake because I really do like the look of the cake, so here it is. And then I always glamour it up with a little bit of edible disco dust, but not before I top it with a little bit of frosting because I'm going to decorate it with one of my flowers. Yes, you guessed it, from the Dollar Tree. And back to the kitchen sink. There's never not any dishes to do when you're home and you're cooking all day. So I've been trying to keep up on them. So I'm going to go ahead and clean these out because I have some more cakes to do later. Now I have cake boxes coming, but for right now I could not go to the store and buy them like I normally do. So I did go to the Dollar Tree again and I bought these cellophane bags, and the cakes are actually on a cake plate from the Dollar Tree as well. And these cakes, I want you to know that I refrigerate them for a couple of hours before I wrap them up, because if not, the cellophane sticks to the frosting. So I want that frosting nice and set and cold so that it's not sticking. And I wrap these fairly quickly, so I've gotten pretty good at wrapping these. The boxes are coming, so that will be a lot easier, but I do think these are really pretty and something different for sure. So I'm actually going to use a rubber band. I have a bag of rubber bands, yes, from the Dollar Tree, and that's what I have on hand right now. So that's what I'm going to use to close this cellophane bag up, and then I always decorate it with a little bit of pretty ribbon as well. I also cut my cellophane bags down and I tape the edges, but you can see it's kind of like in a plastic bubble. And then immediately after I get these all wrapped and I kind of pull everything away from the frosting, I go ahead and stick them right back in the refrigerator again until they're ready to be picked up or delivered, so that, you know, that frosting doesn't warm up, because it's cream cheese frosting and the cream cheese and the butter warms fairly quickly, and I don't want a big mess on the cellophane. I want it to be pretty and presentable when someone picks it up. And I always have my Scotch tape on hand, and I'm just going to kind of ever so gently take those corners and kind of place them, put some tape on them and place them right underneath the plate, still making it to where it's not covering. And this is just something that I do just to make it look a lot better. I wouldn't want to leave it the way it looked, so I'm all about presentation and making things look good. That's just my pet peeve, so I spend a lot of time doing things like that. But these cakes are almost done. This is 2 of the 4 that I have to do, and I get them ready and get those in the fridge and continue on with my day. What are you doing? What are you doing? Want your ball? You want your ball? Oh, good catch! Good catch! Let me see. You ready? Where's it at, oh? Oh, you almost got it. You almost got it. What? What? Bless you. What? Do you want your ball? You want to catch it out? Good catch. Silly dog. So now I'm on to round 2, and I've got 2 cakes done. They've already been delivered. I left that part out. You don't get to see me driving in the car and meeting in parking lots. So I'm back home, kitchen cleaned, and now it is time to do the other 2 bundt cakes that I have. And so I need to make my my 3rd and 4th batches of frosting. I make all my frosting per cake. I don't make a bunch and refrigerate it. That's just how I like to do it. So I do have a chocolate cake with chocolate frosting order, and I went ahead and made my chocolate frosting, and I have a special cocoa that I use that I absolutely love. And so here I am just decorating it, because these have got to go back in the refrigerator, get ready to be bagged and ready to be delivered in just an hour or so from when I made this. And you guessed it, more dishes. How can you guess with as much baking and cooking as you've seen me do today? So time to get some more dishes done, get this kitchen clean, because pretty soon I need to go and deliver these cakes, and then I have to start dinner for my family. Now that the brownie balls have been in the freezer for half the day, I'm going to go ahead and dip these. So I use this little like fondue skewer to dip mine, and then this is my melted chocolate mixture. This is in my cake pop and cake ball videos. I tell you how to melt the chocolate. I think I have it in my Valentine's desserts as well. So I'll go ahead and link one of the videos below so you can see how I do my melting chocolate for things like this. So I go ahead and dip each cake ball in, and then I use like a butter knife to get them off of the fork, and then just kind of cover the hole with a little bit more melted chocolate. So this took me quite a bit of time, not a ton, but this was a good portion of my day, was dipping these and getting these all prepared for somebody. So if they're nice and cold, they set up fairly quickly. And so this was actually my leftover pink chocolate mixture that I had from Valentine's Day. And I just wanted to reheat it and use it up. And so this is how I decorate most of my cake balls. And I just do it really quickly. This is not in fast motion, but I just go ahead and frost the top with either white or pink or whatever color you have, just to give them a little bit of decoration and make them look a little bit more fancy. And these are something I've been doing for years, and I absolutely love these, and people love them, and they're like a good bite-sized snack, or treat, I should say. Okay, so it's dinner time, and I am doing a Marley Spoon meal tonight. These are those box meals that come just like HelloFresh and Home Chef. Marley Spoon is a Martha Stewart one. Sorry that it's sideways. For some reason, I could not get this to turn around, so you have to look at it sideways. And I was making basically like a Vietnamese shrimp soup, so it's kind of like a pho. And I'll go ahead and open the bag and let you see what comes with it. And they're pretty easy. If you are interested in these meals, I can put my link in the description box below. Go ahead and click it. And I believe that you get some free meals to try. So I really love these. I get them every week. I actually rotate between 3 different companies. And Martha Stewart, or the Marley Spoon, is one that I order quite a bit. So these are all the ingredients that come with it. Really, most of the time, you get almost everything you need except for like the olive oil and stuff like that. But I love these, and they're simple, easy to follow, and on nights when I'm allowed to work or when I am working, it's pretty easy for my husband to try to put these together as well. very simple step-by-step instructions on how to get everything prepped and ready to go. And then I always kind of alter it to the way that my family likes it. So it may say to slice something, I may dice it or mince it, just depending on how we like things. It may tell me to add onions to something and I keep them to the side because not everyone in my house will eat the onions. What I'm doing here with my lime is I kind of roll it to get more juices out of it. And I just continue prepping and getting things going. I always love to serve my food in pretty dishes because it makes the food just taste that much better, don't you think? So I'm putting it in some of my bowls that kind of look, I don't know, kind of unique. They don't look like an everyday soup bowl. And so I go ahead and put the noodles in there, and then you just spoon the soup and the shrimp over the top of it. And then you've got that oil mixture that I make, and then you kind of put that on the top. Now my daughter won't eat that, so I saved that for my husband and I. And it didn't come with anything else, so I thought I could either make a salad to go with it or just give some sourdough bread. So that's what I did, and I served it up to everyone. It was a huge hit, and I love these meals. I think everybody should give them a try if possible. They have really been a lifesaver for us. We stopped ordering them in December for a little bit just to kind of save money. And my husband about a month and a half later was like, hey, where are those meals? I really miss them. So they have really come in handy with us. As my day was coming to an end, I realized I had another cake to bake to be delivered the following day. I did not show myself doing the dishes after dinner because you guys had seen me do them so many times already. And after my cakes, there's the cake that I baked. And the kitchen is all clean and ready for the following day. Okay, so here's the brownie balls ready to be wrapped up. I wrap those just like I do the bundt cake in the cellophane with the rubber band, the ribbon, and make it look exactly the same. It's a good way to package them up, and these are ready to go for my client that ordered them. So with all of that, this is the end of my night, and I do go ahead and clean after this. And as you see, the next day I wake up and it's bright in my kitchen, so I go ahead and show you how everything's been all cleaned up and it is ready to go for another day of quarantine. Every day is different with me, so we will see what I have coming up next. Maybe you can quarantine with me and we can do some crafting as well. So here it is. I hope you subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching and supporting me. I hope you give me a thumbs up. Until next time, next video, God bless everyone. Thank you.